Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Ray's Sports News and Debates. In today's video, we're going to be discussing our updated NFL playoff predictions for the upcoming season. We're going to start in the AFC. In the AFC East, I still have the Bills winning the division. I think the roster is super stacked. I think the Jets will be better, but they won't be a playoff team. I think Dolphins might challenge the Bills for the division, but I don't even think they'll make the wild card. Patriots made no moves really in the offseason to give themselves a chance. So I'm going to go Bills, win that division. Miami finishes second. New England finishes third. And they're very close for fourth. I'm going to go New York Jets. Going to the AFC North. This is really, really tough because normally I probably would have chosen Lamar and the Ravens, but the fact that, Hollywood Brown's no longer there anymore and they don't really have a viable throwing option outside of Mark Andrews, I'm going to go for the Bengals to retain and win that division again. I think the Steelers are on the up and up. I think they have the pieces. Maybe Trubisky works out. He probably doesn't after a year or so. Cleveland, with the whole Deshaun situation, he's going to be out probably 6 to 8 games minimum, if not the whole season. So, by the time if he comes back this year after 8 games, they don't really have a viable backup behind Watson since they traded Baker away. But I'm going to go Cincinnati 1. I'm going to go Ravens 2, Pittsburgh 3, and the Browns 4th. Moving on to the AFC South. This one's really, really tough because the Titans lost their best receiver in A.J. Brown since they traded him to the Eagles. But you still have Derrick Henry, and they have Robert Woods. So I think they still win the division. I think it's a lot tougher. I think it comes down to the last game of the season. But I'm going to go Titans to win that division. The Colts with Matt Ryan are a better team with him over Carson Wentz. But I'm going to go Titans 1. I'm going to go Colts 2. I think the Jags will be a lot better this year. I have them going 6-11. And then we're going to have the Texans, who are obviously in a rebuild mode, in 4th. And then my last division is going to be the AFC West, which is probably the most stacked division in football right now. You got the Chiefs. With Patrick Mahomes, yeah, they lost Tyreek, but they have Juju, they have Kelsey, and they got Mahomes at the end of the day. Then you have the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to be a dark horse this year. I think a lot of people, they know Justin Herbert's good, and they had a great team last year, and they upgraded almost every position out there. You got Austin Eckler in the backfield. You got a couple of solid wideouts. A great defense. And then you have the Raiders. I think the Raiders are they're going to be another team a lot of people need to watch out for, because now that Derek Carr not only has Hunter Renfrow, but also has Devontae Adams and Darren Waller out there, and Josh Jacobs in the background. I mean, this might be the most stacked team in the division. I'm not going to lie. I think their defense does need a little bit of help, which is why I don't have the Raiders winning the division. But in order, I'm going to go, and then you have the Broncos with, Russell Wilson and that defense and, everything. But I'm going to go a little bit of a shocker here. I'm going to go with the Chargers to win the division. I'm going to go Broncos finishing 2nd. I'm going to go Chiefs finishing 3rd. Then I'm going to go the Raiders finishing 4th. I think 2, 3, and 4 really 1 through 4 could go either way. I just feel like with the additions the Chargers have made, they didn't get weaker. They got stronger in every single position that was out there. I'm going to go the Chargers to win. My 3 wildcard teams, I'm going to go Kansas City. Kansas City as one of the first 3. It's tough because I want to say Miami's a wild card team. I just can't trust them enough. But I'm going to go the Broncos as my second wild card team. That division, they're all going to beat each other. You're going to have the Chargers beating the Broncos beating the Chiefs beating, the fourth team. And it's going to go back and forth. I think it's going to come down to how they do outside of the division. And you have 10 games you have 11 games outside your division now. So it's like, I think that's what the division is going to come down to. And then third, I don't think Pittsburgh's defense is strong enough to carry that offense. I don't think the Ravens will be good this year. I'm going to go with the Colts. I think the Colts, just because they're in that division, I think they can go 9-8 or 10-7, secure a wild card spot with Matt Ryan at quarterback. You still have Jonathan Taylor in the background in Indianapolis, and you have a decent to great wide receiver core out there in the AFC on the Colts side. But yeah, so like I said, I got the Buffalo Bills winning the division. I got the Chargers winning the division. The Titans winning the division. Cincinnati winning the division, with my 3 wild card teams being the Denver Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the NFC is very, very interesting this year because I think there's going to be a lot of upsets in the division. And we're just going to start off with the Nfc East. I want to say my Cowboys are going to win the division. The only thing the Eagles were lacking was an all-star wide receiver. And now they traded for A.J. Brown. They're going to put him with Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts is kind of coming to its own. But that Eagles team is going to go as far as Jalen Hurts takes it. He had some really good games last year, and he had some really bad games last year, including the playoffs. Playoffs, he played like absolute dog water. Fortunately, I do have the Eagles winning the division. I just think right now they're the better team. Now, they might not win the division. Cowboys might surprise them and, take the division from them. But I'm going to go Philadelphia wins the division. Cowboys finish second. Washington finishes third. And the Giants finish fourth. Giants, I think, are just one of those teams. I don't think they'll be good until they move on from Daniel Jones. Although he really didn't have a super bad year last year. He was hurt, but in the games that he did play, he was kind of solid. They're just not a winning organization right now. Going to the NFC South, I think this is obvious. Buccaneers going to win that division. With Brady coming back and them signing Julio, this is the Tampa Bay offensive roster right now. You got Cameron Brate at tight end. You have Kyle Rudolph at tight end. You have Tom Brady at quarterback. You have Leonard Fournette in the backfield. You have Randall Jones as the backup running back. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and now you have Julio Jones. That is a super stacked offense. You can't really double anybody because you double Mike Evans. Godwin's going to be open if you have Godwin, Evans, and Julio are going to be open. And Julio is on the last leg of his career, but he still has a little bit to give. I got New Orleans finishing second in the division. I do have the Falcons finishing third in that division. I'm happy for Mariota that he's going to get a starting gig again. Kind of felt like he got the raw end of the stick in Tennessee. But he's on the new team now. They're going to be in a rebuild year. And, everything like that. But going to the NFC North, okay, I don't know. Everyone's picking the Packers to win the division, but I just, as good as Rodgers is, I think Devontae really has made him special the past couple of years. So I'm going to go, I think Chicago finishes fourth. I think the Lions got a little bit better in the offseason, so I'm going to go the Lions third. I'm going to go the Packers second, and I think Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, they put it all together. I'm going to go Minnesota wins that division. Then we got the NFC West. it's tough because, Seattle's obviously in a rebuild year. They traded Wilson away. They signed DK to an extension. Why? I don't know. No, I would have just traded him, get some more picks for next year, kind of get that ballpark, going. Drew Lock, he has, Lockett and he has, DK out there, but Drew Lock's kind of a below average quarterback in my opinion. So, I think San Francisco's going to be in a rebuild year. As much as people hate on Jimmy Garoppolo, the boy does win games. He might not be, the brightest crayon on the box, but he wins games a lot, and I think it was funny that the 49ers, they kept giving him opportunities and he kept winning those opportunities, and at the end of the day, you have to go with the quarterback that's winning. And San Francisco, I think they're too prideful enough to admit that, maybe Trey Lance may not work out. So now they're forcing the issue, and now they're saying, oh, Jimmy, your agent, you can request a trade, and we'll meet whatever team, wants you. Because they don't want to be wrong about Trey Lance. And I'm like, hey, if Trey Lance is a backup quarterback, he's a backup quarterback. There's nothing wrong with it. There's plenty of decent, backups out there right now. But it's the Rams division to lose. They got Donald to come back. They got Stafford. They got Kupp. They lost Robert Woods, but, they got Allen Robinson from Chicago, which I think is a huge upgrade over Robert Woods, honestly. But yeah, so my 4 divisions, I have the LA Rams winning. I have the Minnesota Vikings winning, Philadelphia winning, and then I have Tampa Bay winning. My 3 wildcard teams, I'm going to go Cowboys. Obviously, I think they're going to be the highest wildcard team out there. I think them or the Eagles will be that number 5 seed. 6, I'm going to go with the Packers. I think the Packers aren't good enough to win the division, but I do think they're good enough to be a wild card team. Same vice versa. If the Packers win the division, I think Minnesota's going to be a wild card team this year. Now, the 7th one could go either way. I'm torn between 3 teams. I think the Saints are on the up and up. I think they have a great chance to make that wild card spot. I hate saying it. I think Washington with Carson Wentz has a chance to get that 3rd spot. But I would say really between those 2 teams, maybe, or I would probably say my pick's going to be the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals will be either that 6 or 7 spot, because they're not going to have D-Hop their first 6 games of the season, and I think this is really going to hurt Kyler. Yeah, they got Hollywood Brown, but, be honest, who would you choose between Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins? Everybody and their mom is going to choose DeAndre. But those are my updated playoff predictions for the 2022-2023 season. Feel free to like this video, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Share it to your videos. Tag your friends in the comments, guys. We're super close to 100 subscribers on this channel. And until next time, guys, you have a great one.